Hi guys, it's Kelly here and I am back with another video. Today's edited replay features some products from Honeybee Stamps. We did this fun little like scene card with kind of some unexpected things. So we're using the Tall Pine stencil, which is actually like a full stencil, and I really like it. This time we're only using just parts of it. Then the Lovely Layers trees, the Lovely Layers fireplace holiday add-on, because it has all the things to decorate the tree. So we're going to use that on the other dies. And then the Wonder of Christmas stamps and dies. So starting this voiceover, I have my cough drop in. I have my cough drop in because I got a cold a couple of weeks ago. And now every time I talk for an extended period of time, I start coughing. So I'm hoping that I'm able to get through this. So I have my grip mat, and I want to use the stencil not as a full stencil, like covering the whole A2 card background. I want to use it to create a scene. So here it's up a little higher than it normally would be. So I'm just marking that on my grip mat. I'm not overly worried about that because I'll be able to clean it up just with a little bit of alcohol on that grip mat. And then there's 4 layers. This is the first layer. And I do have to mask off some of the other areas. I think for the first 2 stencils, I had to mask just so I didn't get ink where I didn't want it. And then for the last 2, I don't think I had to. But anyway, so I'm starting with the darkest trees in the back. So the furthest away are going to be the darkest trees, which is this forest moss. And then I'm going to go peeled paint. And the game plan was to go crushed olive. But I kind of didn't realize there was 4 layers. So I ended up doing like a mix of the peeled paint and crushed olive for my 4th layer, and that worked fine. So the thing that's super helpful about this is not only are Honeybee stamps clear, they're also etched. So it's really nice to be able to just kind of line this up super quickly. This one actually, come to think of it, I don't think this one is etched. I think you can just see it when you're laying them down because of the patterns of the trees. They kind of like interlock with each other. But anyway, they're super easy to use. So I just went through and did this. Now you can see at the bottom where we have that gap. Here, I'm going to show you, like, if you were trying to make sure that you didn't get ink down there and you just had like a super clean bottom, you would mask it off like this. I'm not overly worried about it because I'm going to have a little snow hill where our finished Christmas tree is going to sit. But if you did not have a little snow hill, that is how you would keep that clean. So here's where I'm going in and I'm doing the the crushed olive, and I realized that like this is a little bit too light for what I have going on, and also what is going to be my lightest color. So I'm putting down the crushed olive first, and then I'm going to go back in very lightly with the peeled paint and just go right over top of that to create that kind of like 4th green color. So I hope you had a Merry Christmas. We knew that I knew that it was going to be, and this sounds like I'm being dramatic, but it's not. It's the first Christmas without my mom. I knew it was going to be terrible going in, but for as terrible as it was and as much as I missed her, I think it went as well as it could have. First of all, we were together. All of us were together. And the kids had a good Christmas. It was good to be with the kids. And they're super excited, and that excitement is, contagious to be able to watch them enjoy those things and spending time with their family. And so it was a good day. Here, you see that little strip at the bottom? I think I even said it at the time. I was like, it looks like a little trail, a little sidewalk, a little like you could put a little bicycle there or something, and they would be just, tooling along next to these big pine trees. So here, I thought I was going to go with a day scene, and there's just something about snow cards, and I think it's because it has like the white, that they just, to me, look so much better when it's a night scene. You guys will have to tell me what you think. So you can absolutely do this as a day scene. You can do the salty ocean, or in this case, the salty ocean and the blueprint sketch, and it's still going to look pretty daytimey. But I'm going to go all the way out, chip sapphire, black soot, and make it a full-on night scene. Now, I am being a little light-handed when it comes to where the trees are because I'm not masking them off. The blue is not going to overpower the lighter blues, are not going to overpower the greens, so I'm not worried about that. And naturally, your horizon line is lighter, than as your sky rises, it gets darker. So I have a little bit of kind of a halo effect going on around the trees, but I'm not overly worried about that. Here, it looks like it is more than it will be. I always do my ink blending twice, so it will get darker and more saturated as we go back through, and the halo will be less, but it will still kind of be there. So anyway, I hope that you and your family had a good Christmas. We weirdly had, I don't know, like 40, 50 degree weather. So, I mean, it was, Nathan had made the comment at one point, he's like, it doesn't even really feel like Christmas. And I was like, I totally get that, because it came up super fast. Obviously, it's different without Mom being here. And then we didn't even have weather for for Christmas. Today, right now, it's 49 and raining. So, totally different kind of vibe. So, a couple of things that I wanted to talk about while we're making this card. First of all, you guys have been so wonderful with the announcement of my first class, the Color Theory series. And, we have to go back to the card. So here, this is the base of the Lovely Layers tree, and I'm just trying to get my positioning correct for my little hill. And then I'm literally just going to draw like a little swoop. It's easier to do if you don't go right up against the edge of the card. I would recommend that you come down just a little bit. It's easier to get a soft, rounder hill, but that part honestly is covered up by my tree. So you don't really notice that it isn't as smooth cut as it could be. But you can see right there, it's a little bit pointy, but the tree covers it right up. So no harm, no foul. And then I'm going to trim this down so that it just sits at the bottom of the card. And then I'll add, what is that? Shaded lilac. I'll add that to the bottom. So you want to keep the top of that hill nice and white, but the bottom you can add a little bit of shadow too. Another good color for this is speckled egg. So anywho, thank you guys so much for just the way that you have received the class, and it seems like you guys are really excited about it. I'm super excited about it. That baby has been 2 years in the making, and I just kept pushing it back and doing other things, and finally my husband was like, girl, if you can meet a deadline for everybody else's classes that you are teaching, surely if you just put it on the calendar, you'll be able to meet your own deadline. And ultimately that is really what I ended up having to do. So that is why, with that said, the full list, supply list is not available yet. It will be available Monday the 29th. But truly, this class is about color theory. It is not, you can use what you have. I understand that, sometimes you want to use the products that your teacher is using, and I totally get that. And I will share that so that if you are a person who wants to do that, you'll have that availability. But, and then somebody else, I think it was Lisa, had asked me about the coloring mediums. I'm going to be using mostly alcohol markers. I will share the conversion for Copics to Olos, if you have those. So I will share those. And then for some of the lessons, just for like the ease of being able to explain it to you, mostly honestly I think in the the comprehensive section, we'll use watercolors because it's easier to express some of those things and break them down and explain them in a different kind of medium, whether that's watercolors or acrylics or paint, being able to mix the things. It just shows better in those types of mediums versus alcohol markers. Here I have picked out the garland, the star, and the ornaments from that set, and I am going to die cut these out, and then these I'm going to color with my markers. I wasn't 100% sure the garland would fit because this is not the tree that it is made for, but it does. So you could put on just a little bit of garland and it would fit. I wanted it to have a little bit more. My mom's Christmas tree when I was growing up, more was always more. And in fact, this year when we decorated the tree, we put tinsel on that thing like you wouldn't believe. She loved tinsel. And so at the end of it, the two kiddos had a ball just throwing tinsel at it like crazy. Like it was, whatever, 1970. So here I'm laying them out, and I found I was able to make them fit a little bit nicer if I kind of made like 2 or 3 of them a little cattywampus so that they were kind of angled versus straight across. And that worked really well. So here I'm going to go in, I'm going to put my stem in between so that you can kind of see it through the sections. And then I'll put that top layer on, and then we'll get into the coloring of the elements to decorate our tree. So anyway, that was something that I wanted to tell you. You can use whatever medium you prefer for the coloring because it is color theory. It will work with whatever medium you want to use. The same rules will apply. The class intentionally is to teach you a skill, to teach you how to understand color theory so that you can apply that to any cards that you make in the future and be successful, to be more confident in your choices. So, it doesn't really matter what you're using, the same things will apply. Back to the card. So here I had some kind of like large expanses of area that were a little bit light because I didn't color it. I just ink blended it. So here I'm just going in with an olive color, and I'm holding my marker on the side intentionally so that I can kind of tap in some longer lines. And this is just going to add more dimension to our tree. If you don't like the look of that or you don't want to do that, that's fine. Then skip it. It's no big deal. I chose to go with gold garland. I thought that would look nice. I do think I have some regrets about that. I do think I wish that I would have picked something a little bit more neutral, like a white or, I don't know. The yellow, I think, is not different enough from the green because I used yellow greens. But nonetheless, decisions were made. I just wish there was a little bit more contrast, I guess is what I'm saying. So for my golden yellow, I added the darkest color to the bottom of the garland. Then I went over top of that with my mid-tone. And then the lightest color is a Y08. And for that, I kind of went over everything to help it look like a golden yellow. That going over everything with the lightest color in this particular color combination does really help to blend everything together a bit nicer. And then I'm going to use these same colors for the star. Maybe that's where I went wrong. Maybe I should have done the star a different color. I don't know. And then for the ornaments, I didn't add any shading to them. I just used a one color of, I guess traditional Christmas colors. I don't know. I went with blue, red, orange, yellow, green, and just one pass over to do my ornaments. So anyway, that is the thing on the class. I do also want to mention about the class, the early bird pricing, which is the discounted pricing, is over tomorrow. So if you have been on the fence about it or busy with the holidays and you were like, hey, I wanted to get over there and get that class, the bundle will always be discounted for the Introduction to Color Theory and Comprehensive Color Theory. So for the full series, the bundle will always be discounted. Right now, the Introduction to Color Theory, Comprehensive Color Theory, and the Color Theory series, which is hard to say with the cough drop in your mouth, is also discounted even further. So, but that ends tomorrow. So I did just want to make sure to, put that reminder out there in case you guys were interested. And again, I'm just super grateful. Mystery boxes have sold out. So though there are no more of the mystery boxes, I of course will do this again in the future. So if you didn't have a chance to get one, no worries. I apologize for the issues that we had on the website. For some reason, I think it was maybe like the first 5 or 6 people who bought the class, it was charging them shipping. I have no idea why. And I could never figure out how to get it to stop charging shipping for the physical mystery boxes. So if you bought a mystery box, I then refunded you the shipping cost, because it includes the shipping. Like the price of the thing includes the shipping. So speaking of the website, if you are trying to purchase the class and you are having trouble, I think 2 or 3 people have messaged me and said that they had trouble, and it appeared to them that PayPal was giving them a hard time, but it wasn't PayPal. They were not logged in. So that the way that the website works is when you purchase the class, in order for you to have a lifetime access, like when you log into your account, you have a tab that says My Classes, and any class that you ever purchase from me will be listed under there. So when you purchase it, it assigns it to your account. So if you are not logged in, it can't assign it to your account, so then it errors out. So make sure that you are logged into the website first, and then go in and try to purchase it. So thank you for working with me through through the issues that we have had. But since it's, like my first from scratch class, I don't think that we had too many issues. But here's hoping. So just to recap, full supply list on Monday. No, let's start with tomorrow. Early bird pricing ends tomorrow, the 27th. The full supply list will be available on Monday, and then we start class. Who's super excited about that? I intentionally wanted to do it after the holidays, because I know we're just all crazy, but also after the holidays, and like when you're in the winter, it's kind of just like meh, until you just survived through the winter. And so class will start January 20th. And then in that, the class is also, both sections of the class include a live stream. And so we will also have a live stream that weekend. All of the information is available on the website for that. Back to the card we're currently making. So here I did the watered down perfect pearls to give me some shiny kind of stars. And then I am going to use this white acrylic spray, and that I'm going to spatter that onto the background and then onto my tree, just for like a little bit of kind of snow flying around. I think our little Christmas tree looks very cute, even though, like I said, maybe I would have done the yellow a bit different. I'm not mad about it. I mean, I think he is still a pretty good looking Christmas tree. I think Christmas has come and gone, but I think maybe next year I would like to maybe try doing a light up tree. Pear Blossom Press has those easy lights, and I think I think maybe if you went in and like punched some holes through the lovely layers with like a hole punch and then put some vellum back there, you could make it light up, and I think that would be fun. So here I have adhered the tree to the snow, and then I'm going to pop both of those up, just to give us a little bit of, added interest, a little bit of depth between the two the stencil in the background, and then the tree, which is obviously our focal point, in the forefront. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the sentiment. I'm going to pop that up as well. So I think that's all I had to say about the class. We covered the mystery boxes. Yeah, I had intended, I was really trying to hope to do a live stream this past week, but because I'm having such a hard time speaking for long periods of time, I was like, I don't even know if I could get through it. I couldn't even do the one on Monday for a voiceover, so I don't even know. So here I'm going to add some shimmer with just a clear wink of Stella. I'm going to show... All right, very, very, very quick story because we don't have a lot of time left in the video. So when we did the free tag class, which is still available over on Honeybee's channel, my sister was here. And then when I went downstairs, my oven was broken. Totally different story. But we were down there messing around with the oven, and my daughter wanted to come up here and paint. And so my sister was like, Aunt Michelle will take you upstairs so that you can paint. And she knows the rules. So Jellybean knows the rules. She knows what she can and cannot play with. And you guys know what a big fan of the glitters she is. So I came upstairs and she had a piece of colored cardstock, which she's never allowed to use. She knows that. And she has glitter glue, which is my stickles, all over in the middle of this cardstock, and then she's dumped embossing powder on top of it, and as I walk in, she was currently painting it around with my wink of Stella dipped in, and I'm like, girl, what are you doing? And then on top of this whole pile of soup, she's got that whole bag, that bag that I just showed you. She had dumped out that whole bag all over the place, and she had just like totally thrown them in there. And I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, you know you're not allowed to do this. And that child turned right around and said, Aunt Michelle was watching the screen. She wasn't supervising me. And my sister's jaw could have hit the floor. She was like, what? Oh my word. It was hysterical. It was so funny. And I was like, first of all, you're responsible for your own choices and you did know better. And so then she started to kind of have a little meltdown. So we had to have a side conversation. And then we went downstairs and she apologized to Aunt Michelle for blaming her for her decisions that she made that didn't have anything to do with Aunt Michelle. But then also I was like, you can't trust a 4-year-old. Sister, you can't believe what she says. So anyway, so this is our finished card. I think our Christmas tree came out super cute. Like I said, I hope that you guys had a fantastic Christmas, and I will see you soon for another video. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.